SAT, college
that was
board.
torture. But I got by. I got.
But it was very different for English and
Math. English was easy. Math was treacherous. But I made it.
Because you had never had those courses
No,
in
I
high
took
school.
commercial course in high school, and they percentages and things like that. It wasn't. I never had algebra, and I took. I might have taken a course in algebra at the high school.
Yeah. And you
I
never
said, "You'll
had.
never make out with this. This is a review course. You don't know anything," which I didn't. Anyway, I got by. I got
And
it.
science, you didn't have science courses.
I never had science course. And here's what happened when I took the college boards in the reading. I had to skip some of that science because vocabulary wasn't even familiar to me. But I still got almost 700 on English because that's my thing. I love reading. But that's what got me into college. Thank God, because I love teaching English.
So
Love
what was
studying English.
so what was your how did you manage to get a job after college?
Oh, it was easy. I mean, they were looking for teachers, I think. And I applied, I got a job in South Windsor at the high school or at Illing Junior High, 5 minutes away. And I said, knowing how late I am for everything, I better take the one closest to home instead of driving to South Windsor. So I loved Illing. The staff was wonderful. The kids were great. Loved teaching. It lasted 20 years. And, well, it didn't last. It was time to retire. I think I was 65 when I retired. I'm not sure.
So do you remember any incidents when you were teaching that were particularly interesting to you?
Oh, there were lots, Bill, but I really can't think of them off, off the top of my head. Well, one of the things that was interesting, another English teacher and I decided to show a play, have a nighttime performance, and invite the parents in and sell tickets and all. That was a fun experience because I like that too. We each had a one-act play, and that was probably one of the fun things to do. I liked every part of it. I loved all of my kids. I really liked kids, and there wasn't a child that I couldn't love. I really loved them. They were all like. It's funny when you're a teacher, like when this terrible thing happened and those women stood and protected the children. I can understand it because those children become your own when you're teaching them, and I love them all. I would have been heartbroken if anything happened to anyone.
I remember you did some innovative things that were fun for the kids, like
Well,
using
one
comic
of the things
books.
was, not comic books, I told them that they could get a lot of vocabulary out of reading the funny papers on Sunday. And I want everybody to read the Sunday papers, the Sunday comics, and find the words that they thought were difficult, and look them up in the dictionary and make a test. They had to have 10 words. Each one had to find 10 words in the comics. And then they brought in their papers and they exchanged. One row would exchange with the other and they'd have a test made up by their classmate. And I thought it was a good way for them to be aware when they're reading anything. You might as well learn the meaning of the words. And there were pretty good words in the comics on the Sunday comic paper. So that was one of the things. I did a lot of innovative things. I can't think of them all right now. That was one of them.
And what kinds of things did you do after you retired? What, talk about golf?
I played golf. Well, I started before I retired. I played golf. All the golf players were also bridge players, and in the winter we started playing bridge. So I'm still playing bridge with those people now. I'm not playing golf anymore, but I'm still playing bridge. It's a very interesting game, and we have very good bridge players. Some of them are just a little bit too good, in fact. Critical if you don't do everything perfectly.
So what about tutoring you also did?
Oh, I did a little tutoring. I tutored a young boy who had problems. I enjoyed that too.
What did you tutor him in?
Oh, I tutored him anything. Math and reading, basically. And I had Jean help me with the algebra. She taught me things to do in algebra, but it got to the point where he only wanted me to do his homework in math. He really didn't want to learn anymore. So did tutor him for over 2 years. And then he was in high school, and I think felt he was beyond being tutored. But he wasn't. So I don't know where he is now or what's happened to him. I was disappointed about that. I understand that he had his adopted parents broke the adoption, which was terrible, because he became very hostile teenager.
And what about your spiritual life? What are the different phases of things that you've been interested in spirituality?
Well, I've always been a Catholic. I went to Catholic schools. So I have always been interested in the Catholic religion, and I do read all kinds of religious things. It doesn't have to be Catholic. Always got a little bit interested in reincarnation, which was certainly not Catholic. And right now that I'm retired and have lots of time, I go to Mass every day, well, 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I have a bunch of friends there that I go to breakfast with every day, and we get together for other things. So that's one of my social contacts. The others are the bridge players and different things.
So
I like to keep busy.
And you have 7 kids, and how many grandkids and great?
18, I believe.
18?
And 2 great-grandchildren.
So far? 3, actually.
Oh, 3, that's right. 3. The new one recently.
Right.
Yeah, in California. So I haven't met that one, but the other 2 I adore. They're wonderful. I didn't mention how delighted I was with Dad's family. I love being part of a big family. He had 7 sisters and 4 brothers, and they were all, well, one of the brothers was killed in World War II, so I never met him, Cedric. That's who Bill is named after. His name was Cedric Williams, so I named Bill William Cedric. And but I loved all his sisters, and Jackie was a very close friend of mine. And Janet was next, and we were pretty close. And when I first moved up here, I lived in Margaret's house. Margaret was a very elegant lady. I thought she was wonderful. I loved all of them. Helen was a lot of fun. Ruth was nice. I mean, Janet was we were very good friends. I loved all his family. I liked his brother Claude. I liked all of them. Rodney. Anyway.
So what kinds of things did you do with Jackie?
Oh, well, one thing, we talked on the phone almost every day. And we just did things together. We went to the movies. One time she and I went to the movies, and I guess we both looked pretty young, and they sold us children's tickets to get in. We didn't know them to be offended or pleased, because it was like half price.
You both had kids already by
We all
then?
were parents, we're mothers. We wanted to go see a movie, and I don't know, maybe somebody else was taking care of the kids. And when we went in, they just gave us half-price tickets for children, 12 and under. Anyway, that was a very unusual experience. Okay, that's. I don't know what else to say about all of that. I mean, you could go on and on if you could think of it, but it was Janet. We went to visit very often because we went out to Unionville where she lived, and it was on the river, and it was a very interesting trip out there. So Jackie and Janet, who were the closest, I spent a lot of time. We lived in Margaret's house when we first got married for several months, and that was very nice too. Turn it off. That's enough.
Oh.
Of course, one of the things that kept me closer to Dad's family was that my brother and his wife moved to Florida, and my sister moved to Colorado. So we had phone exchanges, but we didn't see each other very much. So it was nice to move into another family to share experience. Shouldn't end a sentence with a preposition.
You were very eloquent, Mom. So, as a final set of comments, are there some words of wisdom or well-wishing or anything?
No, I wish everyone
message would you
happiness.
like
I
to
wish
give to
everybody
the
happiness, that's all, and I hope they all come back to church someday. I know they've drifted away, but I'm praying for them, so they're going to get caught one of these days. And that's all the message I have. They're very capable of taking care of themselves. Thank God.
Well, thank you very much, Mom.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
I'm not so sure you're very welcome. I didn't want to do this at all. I might as well admit that.
Well, thank you on behalf of all of us, because I
Okay.
think we all benefit from hearing
I
your
don't
story.
think so. There's not much to tell. Oh, well, thank you for being interested.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Bill.
bye-bye.